Latching is a very important technique to avoid pain during breastfeeding. Your baby's mouth should be wide open so that your nipples can get through the soft palate. So you have to press the nose and chin of the baby against your breast, and then he will be able to breastfeed well.
Let's discuss the different breastfeeding positions and show you how to do them.
For the sitting position, sit comfortably by leaning on a pillow behind your back. Put your feet flat on the floor. Support the baby's neck and place him on a side-lying position. Allow his other hand to slide on your side near your waist. Support your elbows with pillows so you don't need to raise your shoulders. Make sure that the baby's ears, neck, shoulders are aligned. For the side-lying position, lean against the wall so that your back would have a firm support. This position will also enable you to lower your nipple closer to the baby so that he can latch easily. Put a pillow under your head so you can comfortably support your entire neck. Place a pillow between your legs and bend your limbs. This will also prevent you from rolling over your baby. Support the baby's neck and place him beside you on a side-lying position. Put a pillow at the back of the baby without putting any pressure on his head so that he can move it after breastfeeding. Position your hand under the pillow but not under your head to avoid muscle pain on the neck and shoulder areas.
Welcome back to Philippines Uncut. I'm Buddy Conan. Tonight's topic is Breastfeeding 101 on this special day, International Mother's Day, here on Philippines Uncut. And joining us still is Nona Anday Castillo, International Board Certified Lactation Consultant. Nona, welcome back to our third and final segment.
Thank
So
you.
we saw in that video a lot of nice images that we talked about earlier, latching, the proper way to latch, and then the two positions basically for breastfeeding, sitting down and lying down. Now, which would you say would be the optimum? Sitting down or lying down for production?
Well, of course, when you're outside the house, you have no choice but to sit down.
Sure,
but you can also use a baby sling, you know. You can walk around, put the baby, like, you know, this was considered primitive. But it's now going worldwide. There's a big group, there are big groups of women on Facebook promoting this baby sling or baby wearing, right? Because it has been proven that this is very sound way of taking care of your children. So you can use the baby sling to breastfeed, and then of course when you're at home and you need a lot of rest, you have to lie down.
I guess if rest and in order to produce optimum milk for the mother, if she has to be really rested and relaxed, I mean, naturally, I guess lying down would be the best. No? So if you can do it, lie down, and that would be ideal.
That's the ideal.
Yeah. Now, okay, let's talk about if the mother is sick. Let's say the mother has fever, or let's say the mother comes down with the flu. Can the mother breastfeed?
The more she should breastfeed, because that will protect her child from acquiring the illness that she has.
But she's sick. Won't she pass on the virus or the bacteria to the baby?
But she's also producing the antibodies to counter that bacteria, that harmful microorganism, and it goes out through the milk.
Okay.
Very good, very beautiful design.
So what you're saying is that even if a mother is ill, let's say with something even more serious, we talk about tuberculosis.
Yes.
You can still breastfeed.
As long as you are taking medication against tuberculosis, you can. Even HIV, especially in African countries, where they saw that the introduction of formula would kill more babies than by if a mother is HIV positive and breastfeeding. Because breast milk has this what you call epidermal growth factor. It coats the intestinal tract and prevents the entry of the virus into the bloodstream of the baby.
Wow. Well, it makes me feel like getting on breast milk.
Yes.
So no, it's good. It's good stuff. It really makes
Yes.
you. I can see where you're going. It really contributes to the immune system and making the body stronger for both the mother and the child. No?
Yes. According to studies, the long-term effects is that there's lesser chances of heart disease, hypertension, and cancer, even if you're a grown-up and you were breastfed.
Can you really see the effects of breastfeeding? I mean, does it have effect that long down the road as grown-ups? It can have an effect on how you are as an adult, for instance.
I was bottle fed.
Yeah.
So I was almost always sick.
Yeah.
But of course, it also has something to do with the diet we had before. But of course, when we promote breastfeeding nowadays, it also goes hand in hand with complementary feeding. Of course,
What do you mean by complementary?
complementary feeding means giving the baby fruits and vegetables prepared at home safely and in a sanitary manner and timely. Meaning at 6 months they are given this food and preferably no processed food, not salt, no salt, no sugar.
Interesting.
And then fruits and vegetables, and that would really boost the immune system of the child. Breastfeeding and food.
What about for the
Healthy
mother?
food.
I mean, what kind of food? Because there are these old wives' tales that for the mother to make more milk, she has to eat clams.
Yes.
She has to eat malunggay or whatever. What is your take on this? What should a breastfeeding mother, eat or drink for her to make more milk?
The malunggay is really,
That's okay.
it's now touted as the superfood.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All over the world, it's now being pursued as the superfood.
Moringa.
Yeah,
Moringa in
moringa
English, moringa.
oleifera, yeah. But as for clams, I would caution the mothers to do that because before
Yeah.
it was promoted
Yes.
before, right?
Yes.
But during those times, the rivers and the seas were really clean. Farmers are not using pesticides and chemical fertilizers. So the rivers and these clams and other seafood are called actually
they're
sea
filter feeders.
scavengers.
Yeah, they're filter
Yeah,
feeders,
that's
no?
right.
Yeah,
So these toxins that they would ingest will go to the mother and to the breast milk.
Sure.
So in my trips around the country and abroad, I've seen mothers in poor areas. They seldom eat meat because they don't have money to buy it.
Which is good because
Yes.
the meat is not too healthy. Let's put it that way.
That's right. So they can only afford, let's say, 1/4 kilo for the entire family once a month. And they have a lot of breast milk. These mothers who are eating fruits and vegetables only. And when I was in New York, one of my trips to New York, I was in Central Park and I met this group of mothers, families who are vegans, the strictest form of vegetarianism.
Yeah.
And they really don't...
No animal products at all.
That's
even
right.
though, sure.
And they are doing it for animal welfare, right? And because I was eating a lot of their food and I said, I said, what can I do for you? I'm a lactation consultant. So maybe I can help you with breastfeeding. And no one has a problem with breast milk supply.
Right. Amazing.
Zero.
These are vegans. Huh?
So what I tell mothers with these instances is that if you eat like a cow, of course you should not eat grass, right? You should eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, which is the recommendation currently by Harvard School of Public Health is 9 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables a day.
9 to 13.
That's right. So you won't go wrong.
Yeah.
You will be healthy. You will not get sick. You won't even think of why can I breastfeed if I'm sick, right? And your baby will get the more nutritious food plus the breast milk.
What about things like coffee, tea, ice cream?
Okay.
Things like that.
Well, we promote non-dairy ice cream. We have a lot of recipes.
Okay,
Like it
all
can
right.
be made of cashews and coconut milk
Okay.
or soy milk and almond milk. There's a lot of recipes now. So I encourage mothers to create this ice cream at home.
And for coffee and
And
tea, things like that.
as for coffee and tea, I would caution the mother to, if they really want to drink it in the morning. Because
that?
caffeine stays in the baby's body for 8 hours.
Okay.
So if the mother eats some chocolates, which also has a lot of caffeine, at about 4 o'clock when she needs a lot of energy boost, then she should just eat fruits.
Because she'll pass it on to the baby.
Because the baby
and
will
you'll
be
have a baby
awake.
up the whole night.
That's right.
And you as well.
Yeah, still have trouble.
Okay. Now, let's talk about length of time that the baby should be on breast milk. I mean, I've heard 6 months, at least 6 months, but are there cases where, kids have been breastfeeding until 2 or 3 or 4? Does it happen?
Yes,
And
exclusive.
do you encourage it?
Exclusive breastfeeding is
Yeah.
until about 6 months. Although in some of my patients, they fed their babies with solids at about 7 or 8 months because the baby doesn't like to eat.
Yes.
So you don't force the baby to eat unless he has problems with weight gain. But continuing breastfeeding is now recommended even if you feed the baby with solids. In fact, you have to breastfeed first and then feed the baby with solids because he has to take in, if you remember, I was saying a while ago, 750 ml to 1 liter of breast milk
A day.
a day until about 2.5 years old.
Okay.
So
Okay.
at that time, he'll be eating solids, but most of his diet should consist of breast milk.
But let's say mothers, how do mothers know when they should stop breastfeeding their children? Should it be at 2 years old or 3 years old, or I mean, like when is the ideal time to stop?
The ideal time is the baby's time. It is
Okay.
called baby-led weaning. So the baby and the mother, because the baby is now old enough to negotiate and talk about it.
Okay.
And if another baby is on the way, actually the mother can still breastfeed. But if she is hurting too much because of the high hormones associated with pregnancy, then she can negotiate with the baby, the first baby.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that as long as the mother and the child are okay with it, you encourage them to continue.
Yes.
Even until toddler years, like that, 3 years,
Yes.
3?
Actually, our advocacy is to breastfeed until 4 years and beyond. Because
Wow.
because when we were in New York, we met a former Supreme Court Chief Justice.
Yes.
No, he's not just Chief Justice. He's the Supreme Court Chief Justice. I mean, he's the head. No, he's not a justice. The Chief Justice, Hilario Davide, who was breastfed up to 4 years, and we were amazed when he said, "I love my mother so much."
I can imagine the kind of bond that would be created. No, definitely, definitely.
It was so beautiful.
And I think the kids, correct me if I'm wrong, but I guess kids who breastfeed until they're 3 or 4 are really healthy, no? Because you have all these antibodies and this colostrum that you take in until you're well into your toddler years and even after.
And the indigenous food that we are promoting, it's actually now called infant and young child feeding. So
Okay.
breastfeeding and fruits and vegetables.
Okay. Nona,
Basically.
we have 1 minute to close. Would you like to say something to the audience, maybe a message, and how can they reach you? How can they reach your group? I mean,
Okay.
if they watch our show now and they're inspired and they wanna, and maybe we're touching mothers now who have problems and would like to get in touch with you.
Yes, thank you. We have a hotline, 218-777. And we have a Facebook page, Breastfeeding Philippines. Our mobile numbers are 0915-99999. That's 59 and then 2. And 0998-998-9953.
Yes. And then
Thank you so much.
finally, what are your tips for mothers on breastfeeding? I mean, quickly.
Number one,
Yeah.
we have to relax. We have to smile, to breathe. We need that for our modern life because stress can kill, right? So it's a very good opportunity to relax and breastfeed. And then monitor the output of the baby so you will not be scared that the baby is getting enough. And learn techniques on how to calm a crying baby because babies cry for so many reasons. It's not just because they're hungry. So there are techniques that we can actually talk about perhaps in the near future. There are several
Definitely.
techniques.
We should have breastfeeding 102
That's
soon.
right.
Excellent, excellent. Nona, thank you for coming to the show. I'm sure you've helped a lot of mothers today with all your advice and your knowledge and sharing your experiences, and I'm sure they're very appreciative, and we'll continue to monitor this topic and, of course, support your advocacy in the weeks and months to come. Thank you very much for coming to the show. God bless you.
Thank you.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed our special feature tonight on Breastfeeding 101 on this very special day, International Mother's Day, right here on GNN on Philippines Uncut. Join us again next week here in the show where we talk about what matters to you guys because you guys matter the most. I'll see you next week.